The signal no one dared touch. The signal had been pulsing for over 5,000 years, long before humanity even knew how to split the atom. It whispered from the edge of mapped space, deep within a lifeless sector all species called the silence. A void, a graveyard, a warning. Every galactic power knew about the call. Some had once dared to investigate. None returned. And so, the silence remained untouched, the signal unanswered. Until now, Captain Rillan Ward stood at the helm of the Horizon Breaker, a sleek human exploration cruiser outfitted with AI co-pilots, gravitic shields, and enough firepower to remind the galaxy Earth didn't scare easy. Ward's gaze lingered on the pulsating red glyph hovering in the air before him. It wasn't just a distress signal. It was old, older than any civilization, broadcast on frequencies buried in the deep time of the universe. "Still think this is a bad idea?" he asked. His second-in-command, Lieutenant Kira Solano, arms folded, stared at the signal with a mix of awe and dread. "Every empire that's answered it gone, wiped from existence." "You're damn right, I think it's a bad idea." Rillan smirked. "We're not every empire." Behind them, the bridge buzzed with tension. Engineers and analysts worked the signal, trying to crack its structure. It wasn't encryption, it was layered, like a lock designed for someone who thought like a human. Galactic diplomats had begged Earth to stay away. Warnings flooded the diplomatic channels. Dozens of species pleading with humanity not to awaken what sleeps. But Earth wasn't built on fear. It was built on the bones of risks taken and survived. Rillan opened the interstellar comms and activated EarthNet Broadcast Channel 1. "This is Captain Rillan Ward of the Horizon Breaker, under the authority of the Terran Exploration Accord. 5,000 years this signal has gone unanswered. No more." He nodded to Kira. She hesitated, then tapped the final sequence. A deep hum resonated through the ship. The signal flared, responding. Ward leaned forward. "Humanity is listening." Far across the stars, in command chambers and war councils, the silence broke. Not just the silence of space, but the silence between species. Panic ignited like wildfire. Ancient memories of vanished fleets returned. Forgotten prophecies were dragged from vaults. Old alliances reactivated war protocols. The call had been answered, but this time by humans. The Horizon Breaker changed course. Destination, the silence. A place from which nothing had ever returned. And for the first time in 5,000 years, the void pulsed with something new. Hope, or perhaps something far more dangerous. Echoes of the forgotten. The Horizon Breaker slipped into the silence. No stars, no comms, no radiation trails. The sensors registered emptiness so perfect it almost felt artificial. Kira scanned the NAV feeds. "This place is wrong. Even dark matter thins out here." Ward said nothing. His eyes were locked on the screen. Dead ahead, the void pulsed, slow, steady, rhythmic. The signal. Then the blackness peeled away. Not space. Structure. The crew gasped as their ship emerged from the veil. Before them stretched an impossible sight. A Dyson sphere, hundreds of millions of kilometers wide, fully intact. It wrapped a fading star in a vast lattice of solar panels and superstructures, gleaming faintly with residual energy. Tom had scarred it, but it still functioned. "A construct this massive, it shouldn't exist," whispered Dr. Arun Vega, ship xenotechnologist. "It predates our entire known history. No known species could build this," Kira murmured. "Exactly," Ward replied. "That's why we're here." The signal led them toward a breach, an entry point in the sphere. Massive gates groaned open as if expecting them. As the Horizon Breaker passed through, a corridor of light guided them inward. Then came the voice. Not a transmission, not sound. Thought. Designation confirmed. Terran origin. Psychological markers. Curiosity, defiance, coherence. "You are the first." The bridge froze. "AI?" Vega asked. Ward responded. "Identify yourself." "I am Warden, executor of Legacy Protocol, preserver of threshold memory." The call was made. "You're the first to answer." "What was the call?" Kira demanded. test, a beacon, a challenge of spirit. The first ones left it for those who would inherit the threshold. Ward stood, voice steady. Why has no one else passed? Others feared. They delayed, debated, denied. You came. Silence. Then, the warden added. This structure is the archive. Within it lies memory, power, and burden. The first ones transcended, ascended beyond dimensional time. They left a key for their successors. But only those who dare step forward may wield it. Ward exchanged glances with his crew. Tension rippled. Every instinct screamed caution. But deeper still was something else. Wonder. This isn't just technology, Vega breathed. It's a legacy vault, a civilization trying to pass on its soul. Kira leaned in, and we just accepted it. Ward's lips curled into a thin, determined smile. No, he said. We claimed it. The lights of the Dyson sphere surged. The warden spoke again. Prepare. The threshold opens. In the galaxy beyond, sensors lit up across hundreds of systems. Silent empires turned their gaze to the silence. The call had not just been answered, it had been accepted. The stars held their breath, and humanity stepped forward. What the galaxy fears, we embrace. The threshold stood like a cathedral carved from stars. It wasn't a door in the traditional sense. It was a boundary, flickering with quantum light, embedded in the heart of the Dyson sphere's core. Massive data vaults surrounded it, floating silently like tombstones. The Horizon Breaker hovered nearby, its crew frozen in awe as the warden's voice echoed again. Beyond lies the final vault, preserved knowledge, technologies, and truths deemed too dangerous for the unworthy. The threshold will yield to only one who accepts the weight of it. Rill and Ward studied the shimmering barrier. Define weight. The vault holds the complete cognitive and cultural memory of the first ones. It will alter your species, elevate, or destroy. There is no middle path. Kira stepped forward. We came here to learn, not to rule. All knowledge is a crown and a blade. What you do with it will define the next age. Back on the bridge, Dr. Vega parsed the stream of incoming data. Captain, this is no archive. It's a relay. The Dyson sphere is broadcasting new signals coded for us. The warden's testing us in real time. Testing what? Ward asked. Psychological thresholds, ethical alignment, capacity for synthesis. It's probing how we think, what we value, who we are. And the galaxy had noticed. Dozens of alien fleets began shifting course. Communications flared. Some begged, others threatened. Cease engagement with the vault. If humanity triggers the threshold, we consider it a galactic act of war. Do not awaken what sleeps. Kira stared at the messages. They're terrified. They think we'll use whatever's inside to dominate them. They think we're like them, Ward said, scared of what we don't understand. He turned to the crew. But that's not who we are. He walked to the threshold, the light washing over his uniform. What happens if we reject the vault? It remains dormant for another 5,000 years, or forever. And if we accept it, humanity becomes more than it was, and the galaxy is forced to evolve. Kira stepped beside him. You're really going through, aren't you? Ward smiled faintly. We didn't come all this way to flinch. He placed his hand on the energy field. The threshold pulsed. Accepted. A surge of light exploded outward, enveloping the Dyson sphere. The warden's final words echoed. The first ones did not vanish. They ascended, leaving behind their legacy. Not for the strongest, not for the oldest, for the first who dared. Across the galaxy, the change was instant. Every sensor, every AI, every listening station detected it. The vault had opened. Not a weapon, not a curse, an invitation, and humanity had just walked through. Humanity answers. Rill Ward opened his eyes, and the universe looked back. The vault hadn't just uploaded information. It had expanded his perception. He stood at the center of a data construct layered across time and probability. Memories of the first ones flowed like rivers. Artificial stars, dimension-folding machines. Wars fought across realities. Philosophies built on quantum entanglement. And then, their final decision. Leave. Not to escape, but to transcend. They hadn't died. They had stepped beyond this plane, leaving their legacy locked behind the threshold, waiting for someone worthy. Now, it lived within humanity. On the horizon breaker, alarms shrieked as systems overloaded, then stabilized. The crew watched in stunned silence as holograms lit up, maps of uncharted space, designs for incomprehensible machines, and algorithms that bent known physics. Rilan's voice returned to them, calm, distant, transformed. I see it all. We were never meant to rule. We were meant to rise. Kira steadied herself. Captain, are you still you? He stepped back through the threshold, still Rilan Ward, but something more behind his eyes. Yes, he said. And no, I'm still human, just more complete. Suddenly, the ship's comms flared. An alien fleet, led by the Zivar Dominion and 6 other major powers, arrived at the Dyson Sphere's edge. This is Supreme Executor Valzor of the Dominion. Stand down. Cease integration of Vault technologies, or we will open fire. Ward turned to the view screen, voice level. You had 5,000 years to answer the call. You chose fear. We chose understanding. You threatened the balance of the galaxy. No, Rilan said. We threatened stagnation. Weapons powered up. Kira leaned toward him. Do we fight? Ward looked at the data flooding their systems. The Vault offered more than weapons. It offered clarity, unity, potential. He opened a channel to the entire galactic network, to all sentience across the stars. This is not a weapon. This is a doorway. You feared the call because you didn't understand it. But we do. We won't use this power to conquer. We'll use it to lift the veil over what's possible. You can join us, or be left behind. The Zivar fleet hesitated. The Dyson sphere pulsed. Dozens of smaller portals opened, vault shards launching into deep space, encoded with signals tailored to different species. An open hand, not a closed fist. A week later, the Horizon Breaker returned to human space. Ward, Kira, and the crew stood before the United Terran Assembly. Behind them hovered the Vault interface, knowledge beyond comprehension, now safely integrated into human systems. Rilan spoke only one sentence to Earth's leaders. The galaxy kept silent out of fear. Humanity answered out of hope. Now, let's make the stars speak again. And so, after 5,000 years of silence, the call was answered. Not with war, but with wonder.